Yo, how do I get to the Seraphimon? Like, this is a dead end, right? Yeah, because it's where you, like, spawn in. Isn't Attack on Titan horror with how they animate everything? Yeah, that's why I haven't watched the Attack on Titan anime. I read the manga. The manga, even sometimes with the manga, it almost made me want to throw up. There was one page in the manga where it was like Eren got eaten by another Titan and he was like in its stomach, like in its digestive fluid, and I about like exited out of the browser because it made me want to throw up. But there are a couple of moments in the Attack on Titan manga where it's like, that's not good for me. But overall, it wasn't that bad, so I was able to read it. But I don't watch the anime because I'm sure it would be awful for me. I don't think it's awful, I'm sure it's good because the manga is really good. It's a good show. It's a good manga. But just like for my personal tastes and my dislike of like gore and etc., it's not something that I would want to watch. You wanted to puke at Eren being in the stomach? There's so much worse in the show / manga. I don't remember anything in the, maybe in the show, I don't remember anything in the manga being more disgusting to me than that. It's the most disgusting thing I remember. How do I get there? Am I losing my mind? I'm so lost. There's a torture scene where they pop some guy's fingernails off. I don't remember that. Or the way it was done in the manga probably just didn't look disgusting to me, even if it might have been disgusting. You gotta keep in mind that when you're reading, like, when you're reading a manga page, like, if there is something that looks kind of disgusting, you can kind of just, like, not focus on it. In an anime, it's a lot harder because they focus on stuff a lot more because, you know, they have to pad runtime and all that. Like, make it take longer than just being a single written page. Dude, I'm actually gonna lose my mind. I'm so, like, gate disk me out and reset me. I don't understand where I'm missing this spot. So, I mean, I don't remember the torture scene you're talking about. Maybe it was an anime-only thing, even. And if it wasn't the manga, I probably just glossed over it. But the Eren being in the stomach thing, it was like a full entire page of the manga. There was no glossing over that. Oh, cool. This puts me right where I was half a second ago. Time to start hugging the left wall, boys. I hate Highlight Haven. Get me out of here. What do you think of SAO? I don't like it. I think it's pretty bad. And I watched all of Season 1 and 2, and a bunch of people have been saying, like, oh, but the new season is good, but I'm like, SAO has, they've lost all of their chances with me. I actually, not long ago, I did a list with the boys. We did top 10 biggest letdowns in anime. My number 2, and I think it was Slyro's, like, number 4 or something. But my number 2 was, for my biggest letdown in anime, was the fact that SAO skipped through its initial premise in, like, 10 to 13 episodes. Instead of making an entire, like, 100-episode anime out of the entire first premise, which is what they should have done, in my opinion. It was one of my biggest disappointments in anime, because when I started SAO, I was like, yo, this is amazing. Can't go that way. Wait, where does this go? Okay, hold up, hold up. I might have found a new path. I have watched My Hero Academia. What quirk would you have? I don't know. I just legitimately don't have an answer for that question. should try and read Tower of God. I'm gonna probably watch the anime of Tower of God once it finishes its season. Are 200 to 300 in stats too high for the first Gaomon fight? I don't keep track of these things. I have no idea. Yeah, you know, I got nothing against people that still like SAO. You know, like what you like, etc., etc. But SAO was good for like 5 episodes, and then it started going downhill, and then they like just absolutely zoomed through. What was it, like episode 7 or 8 where they introduced the little girl that like was basically their daughter, which was terrible? Yui or whatever her name was. Whenever that kid got introduced, the show just went down, 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 and it never recovered. It never got better. Because they had such a good premise for the very beginning of, like, being in the 100 floors and stuff. And they could have done so much stuff with, like, side characters, and they could have, like, branched out the show to focus on more than just Kirito. They could have focused on that red-haired guy that was Kirito's friend or whatever his name was. They could have focused on Asuna some more. Could have focused on, they could have made some other unique characters. You know, still have Kirito be the main focus, but also mess around with some other characters doing stuff without Kirito needing to be right beside them. And then just go through this whole deal of, like, yeah, they gotta conquer 100 floors. Because, like, conquering the first floor was, like, 3 or 4 episodes or something like that, or at least it was, like, 2 episodes. And it was like, man, it took, and they did a time skip in it, too, where it's like, yeah, it's been a month and we haven't even gotten past, like, the 2nd floor. And I'm like, yo, this is insane. It's gonna take them ages to get out of this. There's no telling what cool stuff we're gonna see on, like, all the different floors. And then, like, episode 5, they're like, yeah, we're on floor 78 now. Or 75. I don't remember the exact numbers, but the point is they were at like floor 70 something in like episode 6, and I was like, what are you talking about? You finished 70 floors off screen. What an absolute waste of potential. Why would you do that? But anyways, yeah, SAO, really, really good on paper, was done horribly in execution for me. Not the fatal cross. Why does the cross explode? That's crazy. Vidar, welcome to stream. How you doing? I accidentally hit my Gatorade on my mic when I was drinking there. Sorry if it made a noise. Tylinmon, Kieranmon, Cheeranmon, whatever you want to be called. Get out. Alright, we can get you out of here at least. That's why it's fatal, is because it explodes. Yo, I don't want to talk about this for very long. I just need to use it as a way to pivot into a question. But, the day of me recording this, it'll probably be a while before this makes it onto YouTube because I've got a real backlog problem right now that I'm still trying to sort out. But, the Xbox event happened today. It's, July 23rd at the time of this stream for people on YouTube who are watching this probably in August, to be honest. But, I didn't watch the Xbox event. You know, it's no secret, I'm not a fan of Xbox. You know, I don't hate on people for getting Xbox or liking Xbox, but I don't buy Xbox, I play PlayStation and Nintendo. Like, Switch and all. Let me read this dialogue real quick. Now for round 2, are you ready? This time it won't go like before. I think it'll go like before. But anyways, all I've heard, you know, chat, you can tell me if you think otherwise. I talked in Discord with some Discord people about it for a little while, but all I've heard is that, evidently, it was not very good, the Xbox event. It was a bit of a letdown. I saw some people on Twitter, what am I talking about? On Twitter praising it. I tried to say Twitter and praising at the same time. But, mostly I've seen mixed to bad reviews on it so far, so let me know how you feel, chat. If you thought it was any good or not. But, I just want to mention this to transition into one of the things that I see most people talking about when it comes to Xbox in general nowadays is the Game Pass thing they're doing. It's like, apparently it's like $10 to $20. I think it's like $10 or something. And you get like a bunch of games as a result. Then you pay like 10 to 20 bucks a month, and then you get access to like a bunch of first-party Xbox games. And I'm just wondering, you know... Sorry, I'm having to think. I need to buy more full repair tees. But I'm just wondering if that's like something that interests people in general. Like I see people talking about like, oh, it's so great and all that on Twitter. But every time I think about it, I'm just like, nah, dog. I don't want that. I like to own things. I also like physical copies as well, but I like to like own a game. I don't want to pay for a subscription service that gives me access to the game and all that. I want to buy and own the game. Am I like alone in that? Am I the minority? Also, like, I don't get that many games in general. Like, I play a lot of video games, but not enough that I think I need... You know what? I think it'd be better to do this, actually. Not enough that I think I need to have access to, like... You know, I only buy a new game, like, maybe once or twice a month, if that much. It depends on what's releasing that month. But, like, it's July of 2020, and I think I've bought, like, maybe 10 or 11 games. Yeah, about 10 or 11 games this year. Maybe not even that many. Let me think here. Let me think. I bought The Last of Us 2, but I returned it because I hated it. I bought Tokyo Mirage at the start of the year, Persona 5 The Royal, Xenoblade Definitive. I'm going to buy the Samurai Jack game when it comes out next month. What else have I bought and played this week? I know I bought more games than this, I just can't think off the top of my head. Ghost of Tsushima. Really, I just have to go look at my YouTube channel, and that would tell me what games I've bought in the past few months. But I'm having trouble thinking of them, so I must not have bought too many. I'm just gonna full DigiRU. But, like, people are talking it up and hyping it up so much of, like, Game Pass, it's like it's the future. And I'm like, I'm gonna tell you right now, if PlayStation had a service like that, I wouldn't subscribe to it. I would just buy the PlayStation games that I actually want. Also, another thing is like, I understand some people, like, may not be as well off as I am in terms of having money and all that, but, like, I don't mind paying, like, I'm not looking for cheap deals or anything. I don't care if I have to pay, like, a chunk of money for good games. If the games are quality, then I'm fine shelling out $60, like, once a month, or maybe even twice a month, for a game that I'm really interested in and want to play. Like, I'm absolutely cool with that. Some people are like, I can't afford that or whatever, and that's understandable, so it's good for people like them. But I'm like, you know, I'm looking at the logistics. I'm going over it in my head. Like, Xbox is going to give you access to, like, all of their games for $10 a month. Like, all of their first-party games that should cost, like, $60 to purchase. Like, how are they going to sustain this? How are they going to be able to pay the devs and stuff to be able to make good, high-quality games if they're getting that little income overall compared to, like, a bunch of people buying $60 games? Like, how is that going to work in the long term? I don't understand. PlayStation has PlayStation Plus, which gives you, like, 2 free games a month, which I think is really nice, because they give you, like, older games that you might have missed out on, and etc., so you can, like, pick them up later. Like, they gave Shadow of Colossus away for free on PS Plus, like, 3 or 4 months ago, about a year after it came out. I think that's a really good thing to do. To just throw out a free game or two every... No, you attack. Every once in a while. For people who might have missed them and would never go buy them in the first place. But I don't think PlayStation has, like, a Game Pass equivalent. Not that I'm aware of. And even if they do, like I said, I don't really care for it. Like, I'm not going to be subscribing to it. You know, I just don't understand. I just don't get it. Maybe I'm just very different. Which is, I mean, entirely possible. Maybe I'm the minority. But I just don't understand why people would be like, yeah, Game Pass, that's what I want. This Seraphimon's attack stat is mad annoying. Have I mentioned that? PlayStation Now, hundreds of PS4, PS3, and PS2 games available on demand. I've never heard of this. It can't be equivalent to the Game Pass thing, because otherwise people on Twitter wouldn't be hyping up Game Pass as like, oh, this is the future, as they have been. Game Pass is a good way for trying out games for a pretty good price. If you like the games you have on the Game Pass, you buy them. What? You get the Game Pass, but then you also buy the game? Then what's the point? That doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I guess if you're the kind of person who's like, yeah, I can't just look at a review or a gameplay video, I have to play the game myself to understand if I like it or not, then I guess. But normally, a lot of games have, like, demos available that you can, like, download and stuff and, like, play a demo to figure out if you'd like it or not, instead of having to, like, actually play the game. But if you have Game Pass and you play the game and you like it, why would you also buy the game on top of that? That just seems like a waste of money to me. To me, it's kind of like Netflix, loads of games that you pay a subscription for. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm not saying that's not what it is. I'm just saying I don't see the appeal in it. I don't see why you would do that instead of just buying, like, the games that you know you would like to play. Because there's no way... I mean, maybe you're, you know, it's possible. Maybe you're the kind of person who's like, yeah, dude, I chunk through, like, 6 different video games in a month. But, like, even before I started doing YouTube and Twitch, I would only play, like, 2 or 3 different games a month. I don't need to have access to hundreds of thousands of games. And a lot of games are just, when I was younger, would just be me replaying them. Like, I'd bust out games like Digimon World Dawn, like I'm doing right now, and play a game that I played in the past. I got nothing against anyone who's like, well, I want the Game Pass. If you like it and it's a good service for you, go for it. I just, like, I don't get it. And so I was just seeing, I just wanted to know if I was alone in that, if I was the odd one out or what. Because there are so many people who are like, because, you know, Twitter is full of people who are like, oh, console wars, etc., which I don't really care for. But also, like, you know, I recommend PlayStation to people. You know, I've had some people ask me, like, hey, should I, like, get a PlayStation? Should I get into PlayStation games and stuff? Or, like, you know, like, I was on Xbox, or should I get Xbox? And I'm like, definitely, I think you should get PlayStation. I think PlayStation's better. So, like, you know, people are using this as an argument of, like, well, Xbox has Game Pass, though. But, like, I don't see how that's an argument. I mean, the fact that they have it and PlayStation doesn't, I guess, in general, is like, well, it's something that they have that PlayStation doesn't. But, like, for me personally, I'm like, yeah, they have Game Pass. That doesn't sway me in the slightest. I still absolutely, Game Pass or not, think PlayStation is the better place to be. Because they just have better games. Still some problems, teamwork. There's a big mystery to it. Oh, would you mind going on ahead? I need some time to think. Oh my goodness, where do I have to go now? Anyways, if you like Game Pass, get Xbox, whatever. I don't care. Do what you like. I just thought it would be something neat to talk about, and I just wanted to know if I was in the minority or not. It just didn't really make any sense to me when I saw people on Twitter being like, yo, Game Pass is what's gonna, like, that's how Xbox is gonna win next gen. And I'm like, is it really? I feel like Game Pass is really not going to sway people over to Xbox instead of PlayStation, but maybe I'm just out of my mind. Wasn't Game Pass already a thing for Xbox, though? Yeah, apparently it already existed, but oh, hello, Funimon, you were way easier to find than Seraphimon. But I think it only started, I don't think it was like a thing that launched with the last Xbox. I think it just launched, like, through its life cycle or something. I don't remember. This may come as a shock to you. I didn't own an Xbox One X. I didn't keep up with what it was doing. Yes. This is the last battle. Let us both do our best. You are all indeed strong. We have really learned a lot. We'll show you what we've learned from you in this battle.